We're going to read part 2 of the sound story. This part of the story has sounds that are not included in the regular alphabet. So we call these the beyond the alphabet sounds. A few weeks later, Audrey and Brad and Mom and Dad heard about a great new movie about a boy and his dog. So they decided to go to the theater. At the theater, someone in front of them started talking on a cell phone. "Shh," Mom said, leaning forward in her seat. This picture shows the shh sound. Notice that there are 2 letters, SH, beside each other that represent this sound in words. We don't have enough alphabet letters to show this sound with a separate letter, so we have to put 2 letters together. Notice that the sh sound is not the regular S sound. It's not the regular H sound. It's a completely different sound. Let's point to the picture and the letter pattern and say the sound. Shh. Shh. The movie was action-packed and very exciting. Before they knew it, the movie was over. They were the last people to leave the theater. As they walked along the rows, they heard a squeaking sound. E, E, E. It was a tiny mouse scurrying along the floor under the seats. He was collecting dropped pieces of popcorn. The sound picture shows us the E sound. We see the letter E shows us that sound in words. Notice that it's a darker green than the short E sound, and it has a straight line above it. The darker color and the straight line remind us that it is the long E sound. Let's point to the picture and the E as we say the sound again. E, E. At first, they didn't see the mouse. Then it ran right by Mom's foot. "Oh!" she exclaimed, jumping up on the nearest seat. "It's a mouse!" Audrey and Brad giggled a little. They were not afraid of a mouse. The picture of Mom jumping on the seat shows us the O sound. And the letter O, with a line over it, shows us the long O sound. Notice that this too is different from the regular O sound that we've already learned. And also it's a darker orange color. Let's point to the picture and the letter O and say the sound. O, O. A snowy day. The next morning, Audrey and Brad didn't go to school because it was Saturday. It was cold in the house. Mom got up while it was still dark to boil water for some hot tea. A soft f sound could be heard as the steam escaped from the tea kettle. The picture shows the f sound. Put your tongue under your teeth, up against the bottom of your front teeth to make that sound. F. The letters TH can represent that sound in words. F. Let's point to the picture and the letters and say the sound. F. F. Dad was up early too. After his shower, he shaved with an electric razor. Was the sound that it made as he trimmed off his whiskers. This sound picture shows the v sound. You'll put your tongue under your teeth, touching the bottom of your front teeth again, but this time a voice will come out to make the sound. The letters TH are used a second time to show this sound. So we know now that the letters TH can show two different sounds. When you read a word, you just have to think of what the word means so that you can decide which sound to use. Let's point to the picture and to the letters and say this sound. Great job. Before long, it was light enough to see outside. The sky was overcast, so that the sun was covered by the clouds. Audrey sat up in bed and looked out the window. A white blanket of snow covered the ground. "Ooh," she exclaimed, "it snowed last night." This picture shows us the ooh sound. We see that there's an O with 2 dots above it. It's in a blue color. This is another sound for the vowel O. Ooh. The 2 dots mean not the regular sound. In other words, it's not the short sound and it's not the long sound. In this case, the letter O says ooh. Let's put our finger under the picture and then the letter and say the sound. Ooh, ooh. By this time, Mom was calling everyone to come to breakfast. Brad pulled a paper out of his backpack and carried it downstairs. It was his spelling test for the week. He proudly hung it on the refrigerator. At the top of the paper was a large red A. This picture shows the sound A. And the letter A, as you can see beside it, shows us the A sound in words. Notice that this is a darker color and a different sound from the short A sound that we already learned, and there's a line above it. The dark color and line remind us to use the long A sound for this letter. Let's point to the picture and the letter and say the sound. A, A. When they were finished eating, Brad and Audrey got dressed and went outside. Everything was quiet. As they walked down the driveway, their feet crunched in the deep snow. Ch, 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 ch. A few snowflakes were still falling. The whole neighborhood was beautiful. This is the picture that shows the ch sound. You can see that the letters CH work together to show that sound. We don't have a completely new letter for this completely new sound, so we have to borrow some of the other letters, and they work as a team to show the ch sound. Let's put our finger under the picture and the CH pattern and say this sound. Ch, ch. Audrey and Brad decided to have a snowball throwing contest. They took turns throwing the snowballs at the basketball backboard that stood beside the driveway. Went the backboard as Brad's first snowball hit. It sang out again as Audrey's snowball hit it too. This picture shows the vibrating backboard that shows the sound. We can see that the letters N, G work together to show us this sound. Put your finger under the picture and the letter pattern and let's say this sound. Dad and Mom came outside to shovel the snow off of the front driveway. They all took turns shoveling the snow. Audrey and Brad worked hard too. After a long time, the driveway was clear. "You two did a great job," said Mom. "Thanks for your help." This picture shows Mom saying, "You did a good job." We can see that the letter U represents this sound in words. Once again, this is a long vowel sound because it's a darker color and has a line above it. The darker color and the line remind us to use the long vowel sound. Point to the picture and the letter and let's say this sound. U. U. "Hey, now we have room to use our new pogo stick," said Brad. He ran into the garage and brought it out. He started to jump up and down with it on the driveway. "Oi, oi, oi," went the coiled spring on the pogo stick as he bounced up and down. This picture shows the oi sound. And we see that there are two letter patterns that can represent that sound in words. OI and OY. Both say the oi sound. Let's put our finger under the picture and each pattern and say the sound. Oi, oi, oi. Audrey noticed some icicles hanging down from the front porch. As she reached up to get an icicle, she slipped on the icy concrete and fell. "Ow," she said in a loud voice as her elbow hit the icy pavement. Brad went to help Audrey up. She stood up carefully and rubbed her arm. She decided to leave the icicles where they were. This picture shows the ow sound. We can see again that two different patterns can show us the ow sound in words, OU and OW. Let's say these sounds together. Ow, ow, ow. Then Audrey and Brad decided to build a snowman. They rolled up balls of snow for the head and middle part of the snowman. Brad rolled up a huge ball of snow for the bottom of the snowman. He rolled until he couldn't go any farther. "Ugh," he said, as he pushed hard against the giant snowball. "That's as far as I can go." This picture shows the sound. We can see that a U with dots over it shows this sound in words. Notice that this is a completely different color from the short and long U sounds. Remember that two dots mean not the regular sound. Put your finger under the picture and the letter and let's say the sound. As they finished the snowman, they looked up and saw a large crow sitting in the tree beside their driveway. He flapped his wings and let out a loud "aw, aw, aw, aw" before he flew away. This crow picture shows the aw sound. And the dotted A can show that sound in words. Remember that the two dots mean not the regular sound. Let's put our finger under the picture and the letter and say the sound. Aw, awe. By this time, both of the children were worn out. They were tired, cold, and wet from being out in the snow all morning. They went inside and changed into some warm, dry clothes. Audrey's mom used the hair dryer to dry her damp hair. Zzzz was the sound of the hair dryer as it blew. This sound picture shows the zzz sound of the hair dryer. This is the sound that we hear in the words measure, vision, azure, and garage. There is not a particular letter pattern that always shows this sound. Put your finger under the picture and let's say the sound. And then I want you to say the words after me. Zh, measure, vision, azure, garage. After eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and apples for lunch, everybody picked out a good book and curled up in front of the wood-burning stove in the den to read for a while. They spent a cozy afternoon reading together. Good job.